I mean, I believe Errol Spence Jr. is right there with them. He's a phenomenal fighter. He puts all the data into that computer and then starts finding your weaknesses, and then he gets nasty with you. And I love I mean, one of the things I like about him is how fucking mean he is.
Errol Spence, rooting him on. You know, I just like to support, fighters in his own right.
What's your thoughts?
I think that's going to be a good fight, man. Everybody just sleeping on my man Spence, man. I think Spence going to do what he's supposed to do, man.
No one in boxing seems to agree about what will happen when Errol Spence makes his return. Some believe he will prove again why he was once one of the world's top fighters. Others think Tim Tszyu will stop his comeback before it truly gets started. What stands out is that Hall of Famers, coaches, and former champions all have different opinions. Boxonix is one of the first people supporting Errol Spence, and his view champions for many years matters because he has worked with World.
And then he fighting a guy that can really fight. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, he's a good boxer, nothing, but he comes to fight. You know what I mean? So this is going to be a good test for Spence, I think. And I think Spence going to do well.
Okay. Now he's winning.
Well, Spence should be doing, Spence should be Spence, man. But he must move his head, though. Because Spence should come right at you and just throw them punches. You got to, and work on catching them shots. You know what I mean? If you ain't going to move your head, you got to catch some shots. You know what I mean? With your hands,
Decision is stoppage. How's that fight at?
I think it's going to be a stoppage. Somebody getting stopped. And
not everybody agrees with that opinion. Robert Garcia sees this matchup in another way. He feels Tim Tszyu has the edge because there are still many unknowns about Errol Spence. The long time away, the damage from the Crawford fight, and moving up in weight all make this return a tough one. Robert is not saying Spence was never an elite fighter. He is saying boxing changes fast. After being out for so long, it is difficult to expect a boxer to return at the same level immediately. That is why he believes Tim Tszyu will come out on top.
You said yesterday, I read it all over the internet, that Errol Spence has nothing left? That he can't beat Tim Tszyu?
Yeah, if they want to switch it like that, I didn't say he can't beat Tim Tszyu.
That's what they said in the headline.
Yeah, of course, that's what the headline's going to do.
We do that
to make it so people could tune into it.
Yeah.
No. Errol Spence was a badass. Pound for pound, one of the best fighters.
3 belts, yep.
But made wrong choices. Drank too much, car accidents. I don't know. I don't know what else. I don't know. I never heard anything. So a lot of times drugs get involved and like that. I'm not saying that's the case, but I know alcohol was. He even admitted it. Accidents. When he fought Crawford, you could tell that was not the Errol Spence we were used to seeing. And what was that, 4 years ago, 3 years ago? And he didn't look very good at all. So 3 years later, he wants to come back to boxing. And he's not going to start off.
Ronnie Shields may understand Errol Spence better than almost anyone because he is the coach helping him prepare for this return. From Ronnie's perspective, many people are judging this fight the wrong way. He quickly rejects the idea that this will be an easy comeback. Ronnie says there is no such thing as an easy tune-up at this stage of boxing. If you face someone like Tim Tszyu, you must be fully prepared. That belief says a lot about Team Spence's confidence going into this fight. They clearly feel Errol is ready for the challenge ahead.
Errol just had to be Errol. You got to get back to what got him to where he's supposed to be. Errol, he has one defeat, and that's against Errol Spence. But before then, people were avoiding him like the plague, because, he's just that good. So I think he just got to get himself back into shape and get himself positioned to where he can do things that he did before.
Keith Thurman sees good qualities in both fighters, making his opinion one of the most balanced. He understands why fans are excited about Tim Tszyu because Tim is powerful, aggressive, and always pushes the action. But Keith also knows exactly what Errol Spence can do when he is performing at his highest level. He points to Spence's experience in major fights and how he slowly breaks opponents down over time. For Keith, this matchup is more about timing than talent. If the old Errol Spence returns, he has a real chance to win. But if the long break has affected him, Tim is the type of fighter who will take advantage of it.
Tim Tszyu has the advantage of activity, and then Spence has the advantage of pedigree, right? He's been at another level. He's achieved more, even though it's at 147. I just feel like he's really done more, been in the ring with more world-class fighters, and had some victories against solid world-class fighters, where Tim Tszyu has not been as victorious when the opposition really hits that A class, you know? So that's the way I break down the fight. I say Tim Tszyu staying in motion benefits him, but the pedigree and being an Olympic boxer, just different overall things.
At the same time, Shane Mosley believes fans should not forget what made Errol Spence such a tough boxer to defeat. When Mosley talks about Spence, he is not thinking about huge knockouts or exciting highlight clips. Instead, he focuses on the pressure, discipline, and the way Errol makes every round difficult for his opponents. That style helped Spence become one of the best fighters of his era. Still, Mosley admits this comeback brings real concerns. The biggest question is clear. Can Errol still fight with that same pace after everything he has been through? If he can, Mosley believes Tim Tszyu will have a very difficult night.
For you is falling down, you can even take the shots after the car thing. You know what I'm saying? How well, like, are you damaging your body? I don't know. We will see when he fights. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I mean, people are excited for it, but in the same time, a lot of people say that Errol Spence is in a different league than a Tim Tszyu. But Tim Tszyu, I mean,
Tim Tszyu can fight. Tim Tszyu's in a good league too. He ain't in a bad league. Tim Tszyu can fight.
There you go.
But I think that what they're trying to do is maybe if they can beat Tim Tszyu, they're gonna go after what's the tall kid's name again? Pandora. Yeah.
I mean, what think of that? You know, his comeback.
Man, is he all the way ready? I mean,
he's looking good, strong. He's working with Rodney Shields right now.
Okay, but is he really? He's strong, hitting the bag and stuff. But what about receiving?
The receipts, yeah, I don't know.
What about the receipts? How's his body gonna take the receipts? And we see how good look getting hit. I mean, hitting. What about getting hit back?
Yeah, this ain't a bodybuilding show.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Some people really believe in Spence in this fight. I mean, actually, Robert Garcia is kind of insinuating similar things that you're saying. You know, is he really...
Mikey Garcia's opinion is especially important because he has already faced Errol Spence in the ring. He knows firsthand how hard it is to handle Spence's pressure and physical power. Mikey remembers how Errol stayed calm, controlled the fight, and never allowed him to feel comfortable. That experience is why Mikey is not ready to count Spence out. At the same time, he understands why people have concerns after such a long absence. For Mikey, everything depends on which version of Errol Spence appears. If the former champion still has the same stamina and confidence, Tim Tszyu could face a much harder fight than many people expect.
Spence hasn't fought in what, like 2 years?
Since the Crawford fight, yeah.
3 years, maybe 2 years. That's a good fight for him to come back because Tim Tszyu is also not at his prime anymore. He's been hurt, he's been knocked out. So that's actually a pretty good matchup for a return. It's also a good matchup for Tim. If he beats Errol Spence,
big name,
he gets another shot at something bigger. So that's a good matchup for both, actually. But he's going to Australia, so that's a little iffy there.
No, plus when you travel that far, it takes a long time to adjust to the weather, the food, the time. Yeah,
well, I could get a little tricky, but matchup-wise, it's a good matchup.
Bernie the Boxer is another person supporting Errol Spence, but his reason is about more than what happens inside the ring. Bernie feels people judged Spence too quickly after the Crawford fight. In his view, that performance does not show the complete picture. Too many things went wrong before Errol even entered the ring. The long break, the difficult weight cut, and everything around that fight made it hard to see the real Spence. Bernie believes this comeback gives Errol the chance to remind everyone who he really really is. He knows Tim Tszyu is a dangerous opponent, but he also feels great fighters deserve the opportunity to prove themselves before being written off.
Fight. You know, it ain't a tune-up, but it's, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's a good little fight for him. Man been out 3 years. Tim Tszyu been active, former world champion. You know, he ain't going to get nobody we don't know. I can't do nothing but salute him, take my hat off for him, and see how he go to work. I think he gonna be fine. He looked like he's in good shape. You know, he ain't look all out of shape. He looked like, you know, he looked good. You know, he looked mentally all there. And I mean, them little 3 years, like I said, I told him as soon as it happened, I said, okay, he had other stuff going on. You know, other stuff going on. That was a 5-year accumulation. A lot of stuff he did going through the rigmaroles with Bud, trying to figure out if they was gonna fight and building up his reputation and all this stuff.
Did you see there's like a viral clip of him, Tim Tszyu trying to shake his hand, and he's like, nah, I'm not shaking your hand. I've been hearing you talking about you're gonna retire me and all that. Did you see the clip?
No, I didn't see that. When they was in the hallway?
Yeah.
Don't pull it up, Mill. It's good. They was in the hallway?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what Tim Tszyu supposed to say. So I don't understand why everybody getting upset by stuff they supposed to say. That's what you're supposed to say. You're my, but it's still, we still, you my peer. You still a fellow fighter. So I wouldn't take none of that stuff so seriously like that. Who give a fuck? He said he gonna retire me. Okay, we're gonna see when I beat his. Who cares? He said he gonna. All right, I'm gonna end him. He already been almost ended. I'm gonna put him out for real. That's Errol Spence. Right back. Okay, he said I'm gonna tell. Let's see. And he thought Beckham beat his ass. Wait till I beat his ass. He just hit him back. All that. But whatever it is, I don't really get into none of that stuff. I don't even care. Like, I think they too sensitive for real.
What do you think about the fight being at a catch weight of 158?
Oh, it ain't gonna be at 54?
No.
Oh, like I say, it's just the kid just coming to get his feet wet. He going back into the ring. That's it. So it don't matter. He really was a middleweight anyway. So 58, that's middleweight. It's not junior middleweight. The limit is 54. So it's a good fight. Tszyu, I'm sure he had to lose a lot of weight to make weight too. So good little fight. Can't wait to see the fight. Errol Spence carrying the torch. Everybody want to see what he gonna do. Most anticipation in a long time. So I just want to see the fight. So I'm wishing the best. It don't really move me whether he do good or not. Either way, it don't matter to me. I'm not.
However, Andre Ward has also spoken with Errol Spence about everything that happened after the loss to Crawford, and he believes many fans gave up on him too quickly. Ward understands how difficult it is to stay at the top for so many years, and he knows one defeat should not erase everything Spence achieved before. Along with Roy Jones Jr., he challenged those who treated Errol's explanations as excuses. Their message was simple: every fighter goes through setbacks, but that does not mean the career is finished. They still believe Spence has the experience, discipline, and mentality to compete with the best if he returns looking like himself.
Errol Spence is a boxing brother to me. He's somebody that I have a lot of respect for, his fight game, how he approached the fights, and just how he's carried himself. And again, he's made mistakes and he's open about that. But, we've been talking for 3 years, off and on, checking on him, he reaching out to me, the whole nine. And so there's a comfortability there, and there's also a respect level there. So when we sit, Errol Spence went back home and got into his family and became a better family man and spent more time with his kids, allowed his body to heal, his mind to heal, and he started making some tough decisions about, do I want to come back or not come back? You don't wait 3 years to start making excuses, right? And I'm seeing these YouTubers now, right? And I don't know what to call y'all. Y'all not media. To me, y'all are, and not all of y'all, because there's some guys that are YouTubers that are building a platform, Roy, and they trying to just, get some motion and just build what they do, and they doing a great job. And I don't have no names off the top of my head, But I've seen guys and I'm like, man, I appreciate him.
However, Andre Ward has also spoken with Errol Spence about everything that happened after the loss to Crawford, and he believes many fans gave up on him too quickly. Ward understands how difficult it is to stay at the top for so many years, and he knows one defeat should not erase everything Spence achieved before it. Along with Roy Jones Jr., he challenged those who treated Errol's explanations as excuses. Their message was simple. Every fighter goes through setbacks, but that does not mean the career is finished. They still believe Spence has the experience, discipline, and mentality to compete with the best if he returns looking like himself.
Spence, this is something that is an actual real thing, isn't it?
I mean, the talk is, but I've also heard Charlo too, Jamel Charlo as well. So, listen, 2 and 2 makes 4, right? You use your common sense. That Tim is a PBC guy in the States. These guys are PBC guys. You look for the correct possible matchup at this stage in their careers. It starts to make sense, So,
How do you see it?
How do I see it? I don't know. I mean, Spence hasn't fought in decades, it feels like, even Charlo. So I don't know. How do you know what's left out of those guys mentally, physically? You don't know, Obviously with Tim, there's a lot of question marks. He's just come back with a win, but at least Tim is trying to stay busy and active. With those guys, it's hard to say because you haven't seen them. You don't know how their training's going, if their training is even going, and how they are mentally and physically at this point.